Now, this is my last lecture on PLC, that is selection of PLC. On what basis we will select the PLC? So in this, selection of PLC depends on how many connections at input we require, or how many connections at output we require. So one factor is input capacity. What is input capacity of the PLC? And yes, this is capacity of expansion for future needs. Suppose in future some more sensors are to be added, so initially we will choose PLC in such a way that those numbers of input are already available on that PLC. So this is one important point. And second is what type of inputs and outputs are required on that PLC. Now this isolation function is very important, because when we connect some output of some sensor to the input of PLC, so here PLC should be isolated from that sensor. In case of accident, PLC should not get damaged. So we use optocouplers or transformer coupling or capacitive coupling. We go that way so that our PLC is always safe. So what type of isolation, or how much isolation, that is in terms of voltage. So how much isolation and what type of isolation we require, depending on that we will choose the type of PLC. And third is, now suppose our program is very long or very large instructions are to be incorporated in our program. In that case we will need definitely the bigger size of memory in that PLC, because as I have already discussed, in PLC we don't have, or as such we don't need very high capacity RAM in PLC. So what size of memory is required, that depends on the size of the program, and accordingly we will choose the PLC. Now this is also important, what speed of CPU is required in PLC. As I have already discussed, I think in very first lecture, that PLC reads our program, and then this executes whatever is written in the program. So execution of program may take a few minutes to few hours. So keeping that in mind, as such we don't need very fast CPU or very high clock pulse in PLC. So but in case when program is comprising of few hundred lines, in that case definitely some speed should be there for CPU. And fifth, not last, fifth is cost. As we go on adding the features in PLC, cost will go high. So right now in market, PLC may cost you from 15,000 to 1 lakh rupees. So looking to the functions that we require in some process, and the length and breadth of the program and the speed, we choose PLC in such a way that that cost or that PLC is definitely suitable for our process. This ends my PLC lectures on PLC. Now I will suggest you to compile all my these lectures either on your laptop or desktop or in some pen drive, so that whenever you need or whenever you require that those lectures are easily accessible. Because in mobile, if you store only on mobile, your lectures may be deleted or may get lost by mistake also. So please preserve these lectures on either desktop or laptop or in some pen drive. Thank you.